you know it's time. IAfootball is back, and we've got you covered with everything from the biggest hits to the biggest runs, from in-game highlights to post-game breakdowns.
We are here talking any and all high school football.
From day one all the way to the dome, we've got you covered at IAfootball.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but we are back and talking high school football. Cade Nissen here, joined as always by Nick Fox, my partner in crime for football season. We're still a few weeks away, Nick. We don't have preseason polls yet, but that's okay because we're talking ball, and I'm excited to get going. And we're excited to give you guys, as I'm sure you're itching for some video content and some shows and whatnot. We're going to give that to you today. So we've got a fun show. Nick, year 3 of IAfootball, man, that intro is old, but I like seeing the old names, and it just brings some nostalgic back to me. You got Whitty on there, you got Hawthorne, you got the Williamsburg State Championship team. I mean, man, a lot of fun memories, and we're about to make some more this year, that's for sure.
Yeah, I feel like I think we've had a lot of growth, like not only in like the way that we run the page, but also it's been fun to watch our team like slowly grow from like just you and me doing everything for football, with now like we have 4 videographers on a night to night basis on Fridays. So I think that's been my favorite part of it so far. And then obviously like there's no better feeling than like the weeks that you just get to watch football all week. It's awesome.
No doubt. Again, year 3 of IAfootball incoming, and we're expecting the biggest year ever in IAfootball. If I'm being honest, our goals are high, and at the end of the day, we're still learning. So, take a deep breath. If we make a mistake, let us know. If we say a kid's name wrong or pronounce something, I mean, at the end of the day, we want to get it right. So, be sure to reach out. We're happy to do that. And I do got to say before we get going, class changes. Tons of them this year. So if we do make a mistake in our stat posts that we're putting out there, just kindly let us know. We're happy to try and fix that. I mean, tons of class changes, especially in those small ones, so we're bound to mess up when just talking. But once the season gets going, we're going to get the hang of it. Anyways, here is the show that we have for you. We're going to start with the State's Pulse. We posted that poll on Twitter. We're going to plan on doing something like that each week. We're going to go through. We got the Fort Dodge new locker room tour. I was just there Tuesday morning. You guys are going to see this Wednesday, but we're going to show you guys that really cool stuff there. Nick and I each going to shout out some people that we, see outperforming. Obviously no games yet, but we're going to shout out some people and show some love, and then we're going to talk headlines today. That's the big thing, the biggest headlines in each class across Iowa high school football. A good way to get started and good way to get you into high school football if you're new or if you're just joining. I mean, we're happy to bring you along, and then we're going to end with some interviews. I've been able to stop by ADM and Fort Dodge this week, so we got a bunch of guys talking there. If you want to, feel free to stick to the end and listen to those guys talk about their teams, 2 4A teams that are going to be extremely competitive and a ton of fun to watch. So without further ado, let's get into the State Pulse. Nick Fox, and this week it was, how many repeat champions will we see? Now, I did the school year 2025 and the school year 2026, but football season is technically 2024 to 2025. I think you get the gist. But yeah, I think the max we can have, if I did the math right, is 5, because we got 3 state champs in one class. So I ripped this pull out, and it was not even close. A lot of people saying 1 to 2 state champs set to repeat this year. Nick, before I give my thoughts, what do you think? You kind of agree in here? You don't have to give your state champ picks, but I mean, just the number. How you feeling here?
Well, I think right off the bat, I think that the 3 teams that we're going to see, that we're definitely going to be talking about at some point today, with Tri Center, Grundy Center, and West Lyon, I think they'll all just be super competitive, and I think any 3 of them could be a pretty good competitor for the title this year. And I think Southeast Polk is another team, like living out in this area. I've heard plenty of rumblings that the rumors are that this team is going to be better than the one they had last year. And if Southeast Polk can keep it up, I mean, this is just a crazy dynasty that we're witnessing right now. Another one with Grundy Center, which we'll also talk about. But I could definitely see there being 1 or 2 champions. I think that's honestly, I voted on this one and I picked 1 to 2. I think it's the most realistic.
No, yeah, I totally agree as well. And the only thing keeping me from saying higher is that some of these state champs just lose so much. And I mean, we
Yeah.
know that these are programs that are developing and bringing out guys, and it's just a matter of who it's going to be. I mean, you lose Nathan Feldman at North Folk, it's going to be hard to rank them preseason super high just because we don't know. That's why I'll say it again, preseason rankings do not matter. I mean, those are just the wildest guesses possible. And we're basically going off of who's returning. So, I mean, when those come out, it's a ton of fun, but man, they rarely end up being right. And like we saw last year, we had multiple unranked preseason teams go on to win state titles. I see 2 just off the top of my head in Wahlert Catholic and Tri Center. But yeah, I think if I had to vote 2, I did not vote on this, but I would say 1 to 2 just based off teams that I know that are returning a lot. But hey, I mean, we have 2 classes where we're not going to have that, obviously, in Class A and Class 2A with both those champs moving into Class 1A. We'll get into that, though, because that is a huge story. Before we get moving on, we're going to show off Fort Dodge's new locker room. I got a chance to go up there and check it out. This is a quick little 3-minute video. Stick with it. The guys were really good in showing me around. If you have some new, athletics, buildings in your athletic department, give me a shout. I'm happy to come down and highlight it. I love showing off the best of the best in Iowa high school. So here's Fort Dodge's new locker room tour.
All right, here we are at Dodger Stadium, and we got some new upgrades. Let's check it out. These screens for before games, the fans can kind of look at the weather and like the school and what's going on throughout the day. And you got the Facebook and Twitter there if you want to see any updates. You got the new big sign, so the fans they know it's Dodger Stadium and they know Dodger football. All right, this is our new concession, and then that one over there that they're building something on top of, that was our old one, but now it's a Dodger football store where you can get like apparel and clothes for football. All right, first into the building, we're gonna go to the coaching office. All right, this is where all the coaches meet, where they work hard and do plays. They got a nice view of this thing. And then on to the locker room.
Coming in the locker room now, we got bathrooms and a couple showers around the corner. Right behind you, we got the defensive corner of the locker room right here. And we got coaches where they keep all their stuff right here. And as you can see, we got the red LED right here. Before games, that's all we're gonna have, just red LED. We're gonna be bumping music, getting ready for the game.
Okay. We got TVs all around here. I'm assuming, we've already done like film work on here and like studying, but before the game, I'm sure they're gonna be showing pictures and everything. And then now heading over to like the team room. There's whiteboards. There's 2 whiteboards on each side. So we got, usually offense is on this side. Offense kind of studies over there. Then we got defensive side. All the chairs are mixed up right now. So before practice, we'll come in here, go over the practice plan and like new plays, installs and everything. And we got 3 TVs around here. So those are good for like film, going over practice. And then each week we'll go over the film for the week on those. So those will be good. And then heading over to the offensive side. This is all like receivers, running backs, fullbacks. This is where the offense is. We have more O-linemen all on this side. So that's the O-lineman side. This is more offensive side here. And then the thing cool about these lockers is up top, you can put shoulder pads and helmet on there. So it saves room for your locker. And oh my gosh. All right. Showing into the lockers here, we got a big shelf up here. There's hooks all over for stuff. I got snacks. I think it's a good idea in between games and stuff. In here, we have a stool. We just got these. These are nice. These fit inside the lockers, and those are nice to have like pre-game, after, and before practice to hang out and chill with teammates. And then heading over here, this is the training room. This is the training room. We got beds in here. You get taped up before the game. We got ice bath. So this will be a good spot. We got good trainers that help us before the game, so it's nice to have. Here's our new locker room. Thanks for checking it out. Go Dodgers.
Man, really cool stuff there. Thanks to Fort Dodge for having me out. Nick, I'm going to bring you in, man. It's pretty impressive. The red LEDs everywhere. I mean, high school facility upgrades are getting nuts, and it's well-deserved, man. I mean, these are some top-notch athletes. Fort Dodge, really fun program. Again, thanks for having me out. What do you think? First thoughts checking out that new facility there?
I think that's every high schooler's dream, man. Like, I would have loved to have something like that when I was in high school. Now, granted, I did go to a pretty big school and I did have some pretty nice facilities, but especially in the last like few years with seeing some of these crazy stadiums being built, like out at Waukee Northwest and Southeast Polk and now Fort Dodge, like I love seeing it. I love seeing the high schoolers get an opportunity to like have these really nice facilities. And honestly, they're getting to be as nice as like the D1 college level facilities. So I really love to see the game growing in that sense. I think it's just those little things that make those, the high school football experience that much more special.
No doubt. Well, I'm going to pull back up where we're at. It is shout out time, and I'm going to kind of piggyback off what I just said. Big shout out, Fort Dodge and ADM, for having me out. I got a few more stops left on my week. Planning on heading out east. I'm going to be at Kids Day in Iowa City Saturday. It's a good chance for me to get out east and hit some programs out there. Got Regina and Solon scheduled for Thursday and Friday. So big shout out to those first teams. Happy for having me out. I know a bunch reached out. Don't be afraid to reach out to me via DM or IAfootball, Twitter, Instagram, whatever it is. At the end of the day, we want to go to where people want us. So I know I got a bunch of DMs. I'm going to try to get out to as many as I can before the season starts, because once the season starts, it's obviously go time. So my shout outs going to those kind of first four schools that were open to having me out. So I appreciate those guys. Nick, your shout out, who's going to?
Yeah, my two shout outs are to Talon Fusen and Beckett Baker. Talon, the quarterback at Woodward Granger, and Beckett Baker, their quarterback at Waukee. I had the opportunity to lift with those guys over the off season. Some of you might have watched them, some of the reels and TikToks, and some of you might have saw it on YouTube. It was a really fun experience, and I hope that I can do some more. If you are watching this and you're football player,
There
you
we go.
can be. Oh, can you hear me?
Yep, you're good. You just cut out for a sec. You're good though.
Okay. You don't have to be a football player. Like I'll lift with whatever athlete, whatever sport. I will be in the Iowa City area, so that's kind of preferred at the moment. If you're interested, that would be great. But those are my two guys to shout out. They were awesome to lift with. They're really hard workers, really cool guys that I got to lift with and talk around with and talk to the guys around the facility. And yeah, it was a really cool experience. So good luck to those guys headed into this season.
No doubt. And now we are getting into things. The biggest headlines across each class. Again, a lot of classes, a lot of high school football classes in the state of Iowa. We've got the biggest headlines coming your way. Again, drop your thoughts, drop your comments. We're open to whatever. We're open to whatever discussions you guys got. And heck, you never know. You leave a question in the comments, we might just answer it next time around. So I am going to turn this little thing on right here. I'm going to try and remember to change it. We are going to start with Class 5A. I'm going to put that up so if you're kind of skimming through the video, you can kind of know where we're at. Again, we're still messing with this. But Class 5A, Nick, my biggest headline, I'm sorry if I'm stealing it because I might be, but I think undoubtedly the biggest headline is Southeast Polk's reign. I mean, is it going to continue? I mean, this has been a force, and we've yet to have a 5A champ not named Southeast Polk. There's been some competitors come really close, but at the end of the day, Southeast Polk has been the clutchest team when it's come down to it. And last year, no different. Thrilling win over Liberty, thrilling win over Valley in a year where maybe we didn't think they were the best team. They ended up on top as a well-deserved state champ. That's my biggest headline. You've heard things. You're obviously in that area a little bit more than me about how loaded this team is. Man, we're going to find out quickly because their schedule is tough. Ankeny Centennial, Liberty, and I think Dowling in 3 of their first 4 weeks. So right out of the gate, we're going to figure out who Southeast Polk is. That's what I love about 5A. It is Giants versus Giants, on a weekly basis in that class. So sorry if I stole it, but my Class 5A biggest headline is the Rams of Southeast Polk and seeing if that reign's going to end or continue this year.
Yeah, I think that'll definitely be interesting to see. I mean, kind of recently we've had these like huge dynasty runs go on with like Remsen, St. Mary's, and Dowling, obviously during the 2010s. And it'll be interesting to see if the Rams can make the 2020 decade of excellence. But yeah, absolutely. I think that's a really good one to watch out for. Mine, that I'm going to be talking about. I'm interested to see how the very talented Iowa City Liberty quarterback Reese Reddig will come out. 5A, like you said, is just Giants versus Giants. It seems like every week with some of the best talent in the state. And Reese Reddig, a freshman, was leading the way in Class 5A. He was second in touchdowns, first in returning touchdowns, as well as passing touchdowns. What I'm going to be curious is he did lose his top target, Dallas Miller, who we saw him have some incredible games during the postseason. So I'm going to be looking for Reese Reddig to make some adjustments and find some new targets. I'm really confident in this Liberty team. The offense is, no pun intended, they're electric to watch. I thought they were so fun to watch in that game versus Southeast Polk. And I've got a lot of optimism for that Liberty team. And now that I'm closer in the area, I'm really excited to cover them and see how they play in person.
Yeah, I mean, I have not hardly talked to our rankers about the preseason polls. It's going to be interesting where Liberty comes in because they do lose so many studs. I mean, you even lose Sutton Kohler to UNI. You lose Owen Drapeau, their stud running back. Obviously, Dallas Miller, like you said. Going to be interesting for them where they kind of slot in the preseason poll and kind of where our ranker and, where the coaches poll kind of gauges them at. I love that. I'm going to change this text to Class 4A because now it's time for Class 4A. So if you're skimming in the video, welcome to Class 4A's biggest headlines. Mine, Nick, is that every single Dome quarterback from Class 4A is gone, including Mr. IAfootball and Nathan Feldman. You lose Brady Hetzel, Chase Smith. You get on that line. Tons of 4A quarterbacks are gone. It leaves room for what could be some new teams to pop up. I might have seen one of them in ADM with Hudson Scholl. I got to give a shout out to Newton, Caden Klein. I know Hudson Scholl was one of two guys to return 1,000 yards rushing, 1,000 yards passing. The quarterback from Newton is the other one. That dude's a stud. Newton might be a sneaky team in Class 4A. And then obviously I saw True McBride today in Fort Dodge. That's a team that looks loaded and could be ready to go. So 4A, a lot of Dome teams losing a lot of power. Going to be interesting in 4A to see who steps up. Nick, what do you got in that class?
Yeah, for me, it's going to be watching the adjustment that Sergeant Bluff Luton makes. Obviously, they were in the Dome for Class 3A. I think they only lost one game last season. I mean, just completely was working Class 3A last year. I know they did lose some pretty significant pieces. They do bring back their running back who rushed for over 1,000 yards with Ryan Hewson. And I think that's going to be one of their key pieces, as they were really running the ball effectively throughout the season. But I'm going to be curious to see if they can really turn it up a level and compete at Class 4A as well. Because the jumps here in these higher classes, they do get bigger than compared to like the smaller classes. It feels like the competitiveness kind of is a bit closer together. So that's going to be what I'm going to be watching out for. I think they can compete. They seem like a pretty solid team all around. So I'll definitely be watching them. I got a lot of high hopes for them to really turn it up and still be in the conversation as one of the top teams in this class.
No doubt. Love it. On to Class 3A. I'm going to change our text quickly. Class 3A, an interesting one. I went a little bit of a different route here, Nick. Last year in Class 3A, to not our rankers' fault, Wahlert Catholic comes out of nowhere, wins 13 in a row, goes unblemished, wins the state title. I mean, kind of dominates in the state title against Humboldt. That team came out of nowhere. They lose a bunch of faces. Michael Borman was obviously a horse running the ball every time he touched it. So he's gone. So my biggest headline is there going to be another Wahlert Catholic this year? Are we going to have another Class 3A team go from zero to hero, unranked to state champs? You kind of look, and when you kind of look at the Class 3A preseason, I mean, Mount Vernon's going to be high. Algona's going to be high. So looking, maybe a Harlan. Is Harlan going to pop back up in Class 3A and really push for a title? Kind of looking at those teams that might be kind of towards the end of our top 16 rankings in the preseason poll. Going to be interesting to see who kind of pops in a Class 3A field that it feels like every class we're saying this lost a lot of really quality seniors. So going to be interesting in Class 3A to see which one of those teams kind of pops out of nowhere. And has a group of seniors that we just don't really know much about, but performs at a high level in 2025.
Yeah, I think Harlan was a good name to throw out there. I mean, obviously, you look at the history, and it's just like they're always in the competition for a state title. They kind of went quiet last season. I mean, every high school has to go through that because, you're not recruiting, you got to develop these guys, and that could be interesting to see. My 3A topic that I want to go over is to watch Bishop Heelan and how they'll perform with the returning running back of the year, Kason Thomas. A lot of those player awards that we did last year, a lot of them just naturally are seniors, but Bishop Heelan brings back one of the most effective running backs in the class and across the state. He was the second in touchdowns overall in Class 3A, a number 3 in all-purpose yards, number 1 in rushing yards. I mean, this dude was all over the leaderboards last season. He is a serious threat in the backfield. And I think Bishop Heelan is going to be a serious problem with him back there. He is such a great weapon. And I would not be surprised to see Bishop Heelan back in the playoffs this season. And maybe we can get back to that state title or the state runner-up run that they had a couple years ago. I think that we could definitely see that for sure out of this team.
No doubt. Love it. Just about halfway through here, moving on to Class 2A as I welcome those who skipped the video and don't want to watch all the other classes. Class 2A, an interesting one because you lose your state champ, West Lyon. Man, the defense was dominant. They lose a pretty big senior class, but they're going to be good down in Class 1A. So 2A all of a sudden opens up. No more repeat champs. Van Meter was in that title game, or Van Meter was in the dome. They lose a lot. Spirit Lake in the finals. They lose a lot. PCM, really fun team last year, loses a lot. Adrian Robbins was a stud. So for Class 2A, my biggest storyline is who I think might be kind of unanimous preseason number 1, and that's Kemper Catholic. I would not be surprised to see this team come out number 1 in our preseason polls, and it's because of what they return. Brock Bading, Jaron Hoffman leading the way in passing and rushing. That's kind of a rare thing in Class 2A to return both of those guys. They return a lot of their receiving threats in Braxton Vanami. They lose some of their defense, but Alford is back there on the defensive end. He's getting some next level looks, and they've got a bunch of guys kind of returning in that 20 tackle region. So Kemper Catholic, a team that's seemingly been preseason top 5-ish, kind of consistently top 5, just barely missing out on the Unidome. They lost to West Lyon in the quarterfinals last year. This is a year where they might be put in the driver's seat to get there. So I know they're going to be a fun team to watch. They have a big game opening up, I know, right away in that season. But Kemper Catholic preseason, what I think could be number 1 in Class 2A.
Yeah, I got to watch Kemper Catholic in person last season, and that was a pretty fun game to watch when they played Des Moines Christian. Definitely a team that takes care of business. They don't mess around out there, and they're a fun team to watch. What I'm going to be looking for out of Class 2A is I'm going to be looking for, kind of as you mentioned, who's going to emerge as the next star with so many guys that graduated from last year. It was a really top-heavy Class 2A last year when looking at like the leaderboards and such for the stats. So I'm going to be looking specifically for a couple guys to really show out here. Talon Fusen, quarterback out of Woodward Granger. He had a fantastic season last year, and he just kind of comes off as a guy that I think that that can really sling the ball around and do some damage to these teams out here. And another guy, gosh, the yearly butchering a name, right? Cal Boniface. I think I said it right.
I think that's good.
He threw for almost 2,000 yards last season and 17 touchdowns as a junior. That's another quarterback that I think could really put his mark in on this class. So those are definitely 2 guys that I'll be watching out for. But again, lots and lots of room for guys to emerge and make themselves the heroes of their hometown, just because so many guys graduated. So yeah, that's kind of what I'll be looking for out of this class. But I like yours with Kemper Catholic as well. I think they're going to be real solid.
Yeah, Boniface, I mean, Bellevue moving up 2 classes, going to be interesting again.
That's right.
A lot of changes as far as Class classes go. So going to be fun to follow that. I'm going to switch this to Class 1A. And boy, Nick, I mean, it is not difficult to find storylines in Class 1A. I already know what yours is going to be, so I'm going to go the other direction. We have 3 state champs in Class 1A. Westline in 2A goes down. Grundy Center, Nick's going to talk about them. We know about those guys. And then in Class A, Tri-Center, I mean, the team that won their first football playoff games in school history ends up going all the way, winning a state title. AJ Harder's back under center. You talk about 2A, a class that loses a lot of star power. Class 1A, I feel like this class has a lot of star power back, and that's without talking about Regina, who's getting a ton of buzz. I'm super excited to check them out in person. They've got some guys getting next level looks left and right, it seems like. So I think they're going to be another force. But my big Class 1A headline, 3 state champs in one class. Going to be interesting if one of those guys can come out on top.
Yeah, I think this might be my favorite class this season just for that, like how many different storylines you can find. The one I'm going to highlight is the one that we've highlighted for the last couple seasons, and we're still highlighting it now. Grundy Center has not lost a game since November 18th, 2021. They've gone on a 39-0 win streak with 3 state titles in that time frame. Grundy Center is on a historic run. I mean, it's just ridiculous dominance. I've gotten to watch them once in person, and it is really fun to watch them just work teams from the first to the fourth quarter. I am really looking forward to see if they can continue this streak. We'll be keeping a close eye on it. I think that they've got the stuff to do it, but that's definitely like a ridiculous. That's such a ridiculous stat. I love it so much, and I'll be looking forward to see if they can continue it this season.
Yeah, it helps when you bring back Mr. IAfootball winner under center and Judd Jarosky. You know he's gonna be ready. I just got done covering that kid in baseball, man. He had a heck of a year on the mound and in the field for the Spartans. I know they lose a lot, but they also are gonna bring a lot back. They're well coached, and I mean it's obvious there's no fluke in that long of a streak. So gonna be fun to watch Grundy Center go this year. Moving on to Class A, my interesting one. This team, the Class A, a lot of turnover as far as teams moving up and down. But this could kind of be the year of the air raid in Class A. I feel like when you think of Class A, you think of the wing tee. I mean, you think of West Hancock, and for good reason. They're going to run the ball 40 times a game and average 8 yards a carry. But I really like the quarterbacks here in Class A. A lot of guys who threw for 1,500 plus yards. Brady Wall, Maquoketa Valley, Jackson Verscore, Woodbury Central. We've talked about him a lot. He slings it. Ashton Pazulik from Logan Magnolia. He's back. And I mean, that's just a few of the guys to name. Kind of looking at maybe preseason Mr. IAfootball front runners in that class. Those guys are going to put up some crazy numbers. And again, Class A, a class where Tri-Center state champs are gone. I mean, it's going to be wide open in terms of who can go back and snag a state title in that class. It's going to be a ton of fun. And those guys are just a few names that I could see kind of standing out in terms of air raid offenses in that class.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of follow suit there with my headline. Mine's like, which of these young quarterbacks are going to emerge as kind of the elite, like top dog when it comes to this class? Last season, when it came to passing touchdowns, all of the top 5 on the leaderboard were underclassmen. However, AJ Harder and Cal Boniface, they're obviously not going to be there anymore. We've already discussed that they're moving up a class. However, we still have sophomore from Logan Magnolia, Ashton Pasulik. I think I might have said that right, actually. I'm on a roll. Ashton Pasulik. He returns with Logan Magnolia with 20 passing touchdowns. Brady Wall comes back in his sophomore season from Maquoketa Valley. And Jackson Verscore, he's coming back for his junior season at Woodbury Central. And then look at the passing yards. It's just about the same with Brady Wall and Jackson Verscore on there as well. So I think it's going to be interesting to see. It could have been even more interesting if those teams could have just stayed down in their class. But it's still going to be fun to watch those few guys kind of battle it out for that QB1 spot. And, obviously we'll see at the end of the year where our 1A ranker or our Class A ranker lands those guys for the Quarterback of the Year award. But I think it'll be a fun battle. I mean, they seem to be some talented quarterbacks, and I'll definitely be tuning in to see how that pans out.
Well, Nick, we made it to our final class 8 player. But I mean, just because the last class doesn't mean the storylines aren't there, because they definitely are. Obviously Remsen coming off a state title, but boy, that's a huge senior class that departs for them. Going to be interesting to see how they reload. So for my biggest 8-man headline, I mean, I think all eyes are on Woodbine, and all eyes are going to be on these guys for a massive year, and rightfully so. Plenty of all-staters back, including 4-star wide receiver Landon Bloom. The Pryor boys are back. I know Brody obviously at quarterback, and I mean, this team returns their top 5 tacklers, it looks like, just off the top of my head. Top 3, 4 of their top 5. So plenty of stars back in an 8-man class, where obviously your stars kind of stick out a little more because you're able to get them the ball in space. So Woodbine, I think, is a fun pick for a team to watch that could really explode on the scene and be really tough to beat in Class 8-man in 2025.
Yeah, I had Woodbine down as a headline to talk about before you had said. So I agree. Woodbine's going to be a fun one to watch. My headline for 8-man, I'm going to be looking out for Nolan Kriegel to see if he can turn it up to the next level. This was a sensational athlete that we got to keep up with last season. He had 60 touchdowns last season, which is a very impressive feat in itself. 40 of those being rushing. I remember there was one specific night that Cade was spam texting me from whatever game he was at that I needed to get graphics ready because he scored 10 touchdowns in a game. So this is definitely a really exciting player out of Iowa Valley, one that we've definitely taken note of, and somebody that we've been following along. Heading into his junior season, 8-man is just it is just fireworks every night, no matter where you're at, man. The offense really flies in this class, and Nolan Kriegel certainly flies and thrives in that environment. So I think he'll turn it up to the next level this season. But yeah, I'm glad that we were able to cover the headlines. I think this was a good first show of the season. I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, no, this is just the start. Again, probably just gonna do one show this week, but planning on next week getting into our regular mode here with Monday and Thursdays. Obviously in season, Monday is going to be our ranking show. Nick may or may not be here on Mondays, and then Thursday is obviously the one that a lot of you guys tune into with locks and dogs. Obviously, looking to go back to back. Obviously, last year was the first year we actually kept score. So yes, I am going to rub it in. I'm excited to try and defend my title. But we're going to say adios to Nick Fox. I'm going to wrap up the show with 4 interviews that I have: Hudson Scholl of ADM, and then 3 Dodgers from Fort Dodge. Again, thankful for these teams for having me out. Was able to snag these guys from an interview. Noah Daniel, a recent Iowa commit at safety. He was a fun conversation, and a lot of star power here. So, Nick, appreciate you. I'm going to play these interviews. I will catch you Monday for our next show, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into the swing of things. So I'll see you then.
No doubt. See you later, Nick. We are going to start these interviews. Thank you all for tuning in. If you stick around, I'm going to end the show right at the end of this interview. Again, I appreciate y'all for hopping in with us. We are back. IAfootball year 3, ready to go. Let's get into these interviews. All right, Hudson. Year 2, under center. I mean, what do you think you learned last year? I mean, year 1 under varsity quarterback. I mean, that's a lot right there in a season.
I learned how to control my emotions during the game. I mean, some stuff happens. You just got to flush it, move on. You throw an interception, you just got to move on next play and run for touchdowns.
I mean, senior year, man, isn't that pretty crazy? I mean, what are you looking to take in the most during your senior year?
Just playing ball with all my friends. Could be my last opportunity playing with all my friends and just taking in, having as much fun as I can.
A lot of turnover last year. I mean, looking at your guys' roster, a lot of seniors, a heavy senior team. You guys still look like you got a lot of athletes out here. Put me on some guys, you don't have to give away all your secrets, but who are some guys that you think are gonna, ready to break out this year?
On offense, we got Leighton Gerlman at receiver and Reed Starzik at running back, both elusive and quick and due for some big things. And on defense, we got Jackson Pitson is a dog, and Eli Weavers is a sneaky sophomore or junior this year that could make some plays.
Love it. You talk about the mental side of things. What about the physical side? What have you been working on in terms of your quarterback game to kind of take yourself up a notch for your senior year?
Yeah, I've definitely worked on my speed as a running quarterback, dual threat, but I've been in the lab with my boys throwing some routes and definitely improving.
Yeah, I mean, I got to talk. Running under Flora for a year, I'm sure you saw him. I mean, you're kind of modeling the same way stats-wise, running it, passing, a lot of athletes. What'd you learn from him, and what kind of about this program puts you as a great athlete in a spot to make a ton of plays? Because it seems like it's a tradition now here at this point.
Yeah, he definitely put me in a great spot. He was a great mentor. He showed me the ropes and showed me how to do it, and he left the program in a great spot, and I'm just here to take the baton to another level and keep it going, pass it on to the next.
New district this year. I mean, what are you excited about playing some new guys? And obviously I saw Lewis Central on there. That's going to be a ton of fun. I mean, they took you out game before the Dome last year. I mean, what are you excited for going into your senior year as far as the schedule goes?
That's a great revenge game. They gave us some teams on there that we should be able to dominate and control the game. And, of course, Lewis Central should hopefully revenge game there.
What's it take as a team to get to the Dome this year?
What's it take?
Yeah, what's it going to take?
Oh, what's it going to take? Just a lot of effort and have as much fun. I think if we just take it in every play, one game at a time, I think we have a good chance.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the year. We got a lot of returners coming back, and O-line's looking pretty good so far, and I'm just ready for the season. I think we're going to have a big year so far, and it's looking good. Yeah, 2 days into practice, it's felt pretty good. I mean, we got all new playbook this year, so we're adding a bunch of new things in, but it's coming together pretty good, and we got a couple weeks till game day, and I'm ready to go. So it's coming good. Yeah, I tried to put on a good amount of muscle in the off season. I've been throwing all winter, so hopefully it pays off this year, and I'm ready to go. We got a lot of seniors to lead us, and last year we had a lot of new starters. We were a young team, and I think this team's grown a lot. So I think when we come together in the playoff season, we'll be ready to go. Team goals, we obviously want to go to the state championship. I think a broader goal would be just like go to the Dome, but I think we got what it takes to go to the state championship this year. I'm trying to be more secure with the ball, keep the ball in the receiver's hands, and I want to be a little bit more rushing yards this year.
Yeah, no, it's surreal. I've been a fan of Iowa my whole life, and it's just once they offered me, I knew to commit. Yeah, we got a few juniors and mostly seniors, so we were a young defense, and we got a corner, Tavon, we got Jesse. We got a lot of returning guys that were really, really important in the defense last year. Yeah, no, in the off season, I worked on my footwork. I was getting my hips more fluid. And from last year to this year, I think I'll be better at being more confident throughout the plays and the coverages and knowing what I'm doing and reading the offense a lot more clear. Well, I think we've got the potential. I think our players just need we need to lock down on the skills and coverages and routes and everything, and just really sharpen those and be the best version and come together as a team. And I think we got it.
I mean, if you ask me, if you ask a lot of these guys, I think we're going to have the best defense in the state. We're not going to be giving up a lot of points, ever. We got a lot of returning starters, so we're going to be really strong. I focused a lot more this year on my footwork and my speed, my ball skills, my timing, a little less on the weight room, and just getting better as a football player. The most important thing to me is just the people I'm around. I have great teammates, I have great coaches. It's just they create a great culture, and it's awesome to be around them all season. That's going to be the most important thing, most memorable thing.
Yeah, talking about the teammates and the culture, go ahead and talk more about that. I mean, what's this Fort Dodge culture like to those who might not know a lot about it? Because it seems like you guys have a lot of fun here.
I think a lot of people think Fort Dodge, they don't really respect us where we come from. We go into games and thinking Dirty Dodge, and we're trying to create a culture. We are creating a culture that's going into games and just showing them what we're about, showing them how good we are.
I mean, that culture's working. State playoff berth last year. You guys fell in the first round. Obviously, hopes are higher this year.
Mm-hmm.
What's it going to take for this team to achieve those goals and try and get to the Unidome?
It's gonna take, again, the culture. We're going to have to keep this energy up. We have great energy right now. We have great chemistry. We're going to build the chemistry, build the energy, keep the confidence up, and we're going to beat every team in the state.